I am going to start the class. Yesterday we completed up to time period and we started the velocity, I think. Velocity is nothing but c. Velocity of a wave is defined as velocity of a wave is defined as distance covered by distance covered by distance covered by a wave in 1 second. Distance covered by wave in 1 second. That is called velocity. That means c equal to velocity equal to wavelength by time. And that c equal to wavelength into frequency, or c equal to wavelength into frequency అయినప్పుడు then frequency equal to velocity by wavelength. Here c is constant velocity. C is constant value. That is how much there? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. C is constant. And here frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength. Inversely proportional to wavelength. Okay, and this you have to remember. And next one, amplitude. Amplitude, that is nothing but A. Amplitude represented by A. Amplitude of wave, the amplitude of wave is defined as the height of crest or depth of trough For example, this is wave. This height of crest or depth of trough is known as amplitude. Okay. And next EMS. EMS means electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. The arrangement obtained by the arrangement obtained by arranging various type of arranging various type of electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves in order of their increasing frequencies, in order of their increasing frequency or decreasing wavelength, decreasing wavelength, increasing frequency or decreasing wavelength is called electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum. Increasing wavelength or increasing frequency or decreasing wavelength. Actually, we know already the frequency is inversely proportional to its wavelength. Ante, if wavelength is longer, wavelength corresponds to lower frequency, and higher wavelength corresponds to shorter wavelength corresponds to higher frequency. And ఇప్పుడు wavelength అంటే ఏంది? The distance between the two crest or trough. This is shorter wavelength, and now this is longer wavelength. So the wavelength increasing from left to right, Nana, here. If wavelength increases left to right, what about the frequency? Here wavelength increasing and frequency will decreases. Electromagnetic spectrum is nothing but these total wavelengths are arranging order of their increasing frequency, or decreasing wavelength is called electromagnetic spectrum. అంటే ఈ total wavelengths ని increasing frequency or decreasing wavelength లో arrange చేస్తారు. That is called electromagnetic spectrum. Okay. I am removing this one. Next, continuation of electromagnetic spectrum. Actually, this is RW is nothing but radio waves and microwaves. IR means infrared rays, and next to visible rays. And next to UV rays, X-rays, and gamma rays. Okay. These are decreasing wavelength from left to right. Left to right ఏమవుతుంది wavelength decrease అవుతుంది. Obviously frequency increases. అయ్యో. Next UV. X-rays and gamma rays. See here, I'm writing a few wavelengths. Actually, this is radio waves, microwaves, IR, visible, ultraviolet rays, X-rays and gamma rays. Okay, now that means here, this is low frequency. Etla low frequency అని చెప్తారు అంటే I will write the value of this with respect to angstroms. Here this is 3 into 10 to the power of 14 angstroms, and this one microwaves 3 into 10 to the power of 9 angstroms, and this is 6 into 10 to the power of 6 angstroms, and here 7600 angstroms visible rays, and 800 angstroms, and 150 angstroms, and this here 0.01 angstroms, this one 0.01, this is 0.1 angstrom, this is 0.01 angstrom. So that means we can conclude easily from left to right, the wavelength is decreasing. Yes or no? Left to right ఏమవుతుంది wavelength decrease అవుతుంది. These are the values of wavelength. Okay na? So if wavelength decreases, what about the frequency? Increases. అమ్మా ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ లెఫ్ట్ టు రైట్ ఏమవుతుంది 3 into 10 to the power of 14 angstroms to 0.01 angstroms means the wavelength is decreasing. Wavelength decrease అవుతుందంటే ఏమవుతాం, frequency increase అవుతుంది అన్నట్టు. That means here the radio waves it's having higher wavelength. Higher wavelength means obviously low frequency. Frequency and energy both are same amma. If it is low frequency means what is this? Low energy. Okay, but wavelength is longer wavelength. Longer wavelength. Okay, and here this side opposite, the wavelength is longer, obviously higher frequency, high frequency, that means high energy, and low wavelength. Sorry, that means shorter wavelength. Shorter wavelength. Okay, now did you understand? These are wavelengths. We know already the wavelength and frequency inversely proportional to each other. Okay, so there the radio waves are 3 into 10 to the power of 14 angstrom. That means it's having highest longer wavelength, obviously lower frequency and lower energy. Okay, now When it comes to here, gamma rays are the frequency, sorry, gamma rays wavelength is 0.01 angstroms. So that's why it's having higher frequency and higher energy. So here you have to remember the visible range. So only visible range we can see with our naked eyes, that is 7,600 angstroms to 3,800 angstroms. This is visible range we can see with jar. Yes or no? This is with jar. Did you understand this one? Till any doubts? అమ్మా ఏం లేదు, రేడియో వేవ్స్ టు గామా రేస్ వరకు వేవ్ లెంత్ డిక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి ఎనర్జీ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. ఎనర్జీ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ. Longer wavelength corresponds to lower frequency, lower wavelength corresponds to higher frequency. That's it. Shall I remove this? Give response, anyone. Is it clear? Okay. This is first page. This is first page. And this one second page. And now third page I will give the questions. Write the question. Regarding this wavelengths only, the Vivid Bharati station gamma rays wavelength 0.01, X-rays 0.1. Vivid Bharati station, radio station amma idi, Vivid Bharati station of All India Radio, Bharati station of All India radio broadcast on a frequency of 1368 kilohertz. This is the units of frequency, hertz, kilohertz. Okay. Then calculate the wavelength of electromagnetic waves. Calculate the wavelength of electromagnetic waves emitted by the transmitter. Listen very careful. Actually, A Vivid Bharati station of All India radio broadcast on frequencies 1368 kilohertz. Okay, the radio broadcast frequency 1368 kilohertz. Calculate the wavelength of electromagnetic waves. అంటే దీని wavelength calculate చేయాలి. Okay, so actually there we have to use the formula. The wavelength is equal to c by nu. Yes or no? That's correct one only. Yashaswini. Wavelength actually c equal to what is that, Amma? C equal to nu lambda. Okay, c equal to nu lambda. Obviously lambda equal to c by nu. Actually nu value they have given already. What is that? C we know already, velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. ఇది మారదు. Okay, na? That is a constant we know already. And given frequency nu equal to how much there? 1368 kilohertz. Kilohertz అంటే ఏం చేయాలా? 10 to the power of 3 1000 కదా, 10 to the power of 3 hertz. That means 1368 into 10 to the power of 3. Now substitute these values here. The lambda equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by 1368 into 10 to the power of 3 per second. This is meter per second. ఇప్పుడు చేయండి. So calculate this one. How much? 213. Sorry, 219. We'll get 219.3 meters. Did you understand? Amma, ikkada em ledu, just wavelength calculate cheyala. They have given the frequency, you know already, c value. Okay na? So wavelength equal to c by nu. Is it clear? I am removing this one. Shall I? Okay. And next question. Calculate the wave number. Question. Calculate the wave number. Calculate the wave number. That is nothing but nu bar in centimeters and frequency nu and frequency of yellow radiation. Yellow radiation having a wavelength of yellow radiation having a wavelength of 10 5800 ఆంగ్స్ట్రామ్స్. ఇక్కడ నేను మీకు ఒక చిన్న హింట్ ఇస్తా. These angstroms, here you have to calculate 1 angstrom equal to in centimeters, 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. ఇప్పటి వరకు నేను మన మీటర్స్లో ఇచ్చాను. 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters. There you have to calculate in centimeters. You can calculate in meters also. కాకపోతే ఇక్కడ ఏమి ఇచ్చిండు, సెంటీమీటర్స్లో క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయమని ఇచ్చింది కాబట్టి. ఓకే. So as we know already, the wave number is inversely proportional to wavelength. Wave number also inversely proportional to its wavelength. Okay na? That means if you substitute this one, 1 by 5800 into 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeters nano. Calculate చేయండి. ఓకే, ఎంత వస్తుందో చూద్దాం. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ న్యూ, ద న్యూ ఈక్వల్ టు వెలాసిటీ ఇంటూ న్యూ బార్. ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా న్యూ బార్ వాల్యూ రాలేదు, న్యూ బార్ వాల్యూ రావాలా. And their velocity, we know already, the velocity is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. కానీ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏమడిగిండు, సెంటీమీటర్స్లో క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. సో దట్ ఈస్ 3 into 10 to the power of 10 సెంటీమీటర్ per second. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ది న్యూ బార్ వాల్యూ రావాలా చూడండి. న్యూ ఈక్వల్ టు 3 into 10 to the power of 10 into, ఇది ఇట్లా రాసుకోవచ్చు కదమ్మా. 10 to the power of minus 8 will become 10 to the power of 8 by 5800 angstroms per centimeter. How much we'll get here? We'll get 17,241.37 centimeters. Okay na? These values substitute here. Frequency 3 into 10 to the power of 10 into సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసి చేయండి ఒకసారి. 3 into 10 to the power of 10 into 172437. Then answer చేయండి అన్న. Copy this one up to here. Okay na? Later you can calculate this one. Did you understand here? ఇక్కడ చిన్న చేంజెస్ ఏంటంటే, వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ ఆన్సర్? 51 రైట్. అక్షయ కరెక్ట్ ఓన్లీ. 51724.13. అక్షర 5.17 ఇంటూ, అక్షర నువ్వు చేసింది కరెక్టే, కాకపోతే 10 to the power of 12 రాదమ్మా, 10 to the power of 14 వస్తుంది. ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయి. If you take 5.17 into 10 to the power of 14 will come. This is correct one. ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకేనా? వైభవ్ సూర్య కరెక్ట్ వన్ ఉంది. 5.17 into 10 to the power of 14. Right. డిడ్ యూ అండర్స్టాండ్? యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ మనం ఏంటంటే ఇంతకుముందు మనం మీటర్స్లో తీసుకున్నాం దీని వాల్యూ, యాంగ్స్ట్రామ్ వాల్యూ. ఇయర్ 1 యాంగ్స్ట్రామ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 10⁻⁻8 సెంటీమీటర్స్. ఓకేనా? ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే మనకి ఇప్పటి వరకు వంశీకృష్ణ కరెక్ట్ వన్. ఇప్పటి వరకు we know this c value, velocity of light value is 3 into 10⁻⁸ meter per second. When comes to centimeters, 3 into 10⁻10 centimeters per second. ఈ రెండు మీటర్స్ని సెంటీమీటర్స్లోకి మార్చాం అంతే. ఓకేనా? పెద్దగా మారింది ఏం లేదు. ద వేవ్ నంబర్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ టు ఇట్స్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ. ఓకేనా? అండ్ ద రిలేషన్ బిట్వీన్ వేవ్ అండ్ వేవ్ నంబర్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ దట్ ఈక్వల్ టు వెలాసిటీ ఇంటూ వేవ్ నంబర్. ఎందుకు ఈ రెండు ప్రపోర్షనల్, డైరెక్ట్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ ఉంటాయి. ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ స్పీడ్ అండ్ వేవ్ నంబర్ పైన డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా? అర్థమవుతుందా అమ్మ అసలు? ఆర్ యూ గెటింగ్ ఎనీ కన్ఫ్యూజన్? Shall I remove this page? I will give one more question for you. I am removing. చెప్తాలి.
Explain 1 second.
This one,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Observe very careful. Actually, calculate the wave number is nothing but nu bar. Wave number in centimeters, amma, and frequency of yellow radiation having wavelength 5800 angstroms. ఇక్కడ వేవ్ నంబర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీలో సెంటీమీటర్స్లో క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలా? వేవ్ నంబర్ and frequency both we have to calculate in centimeters by using 5800 angstroms. Okay, so the wave number is inversely proportional to its wavelength annappudu manaku 1/5800 angstroms. 1 angstrom equal to 10⁻⁻8 centimeters amma. 1 angstrom equal to 10⁻⁻8 centimeters. Okay na? This -8 ikkadiki vachindi anuko 10⁻8/5800. Okay na? So after simplification, we'll get the value of this one. Wave number completed. And now frequency is directly proportional to velocity into wave number. ఎందుకంటే frequency అంటే ఎనర్జీ కదా. ఎనర్జీ అనేది స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ లైట్ నంబర్ ఆఫ్ వేవ్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటేనే స్పీడ్ ఎక్కువ, నంబర్ ఆఫ్ వేవ్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటేనే ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అంటే దిస్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ లైట్ అండ్ వేవ్ నంబర్. ఆల్రెడీ ఇప్పుడు న్యూ ఇది వచ్చింది. స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ లైట్ వినో ఆల్రెడీ 3 into 10⁻8 మీటర్ ఫర్ సెకండ్స్ లో తెలుసు, కానీ సెంటీమీటర్స్ లో క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి ద స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ లైట్ 3 into 10⁻10 సెంటీమీటర్స్ పర్ సెకండ్. ఓకేనా? ఇది సి వాల్యూ అండ్ న్యూ బార్ వాల్యూ దిస్ ఈస్ సి అమ్మ, అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ వేవ్ నంబర్ ఆల్రెడీ వి క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్. ఈ రెండింటిని సింప్లిఫై చేసినాం అనుకో విల్ గెట్ దిస్ వన్. ఓకే, ఇస్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ భవిత? Okay, and next question, write the next question. Write down, we have only 1 minute time. A particular radio station, layer makar gavachu. Okay, let it be. We'll continue from here tomorrow in class. Okay na? Once again, today we discussed about from velocity amma. Velocity, amplitude. Velocity is nothing but speed of light, that's it. Okay na? Velocity of a wave is defined as the distance covered by the wave in 1 second. That is called velocity. Amplitude is nothing but the height of the crest or depth of the trough is known as amplitude. Electromagnetic spectrum, the all wavelengths are arranged in increasing order of increasing frequency order or decreasing wavelength. That is electromagnetic spectrum. Okay. And the next page, this is the electromagnetic spectrum, radio waves, microwaves, IR, visible, UV, and X-rays. Okay, now these are the values. And next, these are the questions. తక్కువనే అయింది ఈరోజు క్లాసు. Okay, let it be.